This conference will now be recorded.
Guys, in yesterday's class, we discussed about button interfacing with 8051 microcontroller. But as we discussed in last class that there are two methods. There are two types or two methods in the button interfacing with 8051 microcontroller. We discussed a pull-up method, fine. And today we are going to discuss about pull-down method. Okay. And I have shown, I mean that I have drawn that diagrams and how this pull down looks like, pull up looks like. Okay, in yesterday's class we saw them, and now let me take pull down method. Okay, the resistor is connected to power supply in pull up method, where pull down method the resistor should be grounded, right? This is pull down method, fine. So with this, we'll complete the two types or two methods which are there in this button interfacing. In this pull down method, what are the components? Obviously, resistor is needed, button as well as our microcontroller, right? Button, resistor as well as our microcontroller, fine. Open the Proteus. This is the hardware part. And guys, you all are aware of this process. Go to ISIS. Go to this pick the device 8089C51. This is our microcontroller. Double click on this, select this, and resistor res, type res resistor. You will get library device description generic resistor symbol. Fine, double click on this, and LEDs. Okay, we are going to control LED, right, with a button. Let me take yellow only. Let's look. Place the components in the workspace. Place the control in the workspace, and I am not taken the button. Type button. This is the one. IQ button. Fine. Fine. So in case of pull down method, resistor should be grounded, right? So if you observe this hardware part clearly, I'm going to connect the power supply directly to the button, and resistor should be grounded. Where this, take this resistor, place it here, and connect to this button. This should be grounded, right? This should be grounded. Yes, take the LED, place it here. Whatever the port you want to take, it's your wish. You can choose any port, like port 2, port 3, or port 1, and take the ground. Guys, in yesterday's class we discussed about common anode method also, like what are the conditions for common anode. It's your wish. So for example, I'm taking common cathode here. Okay, here the cathode is grounded. It's your wish to take the anode, but the conditions will get reversed. Okay, if you make the LED on, you have to give the logic 0. That's what we discussed in the last class. Clear? This is the hardware part. If you are done with this, I'll go with the code part. This is the hardware part, and which comes under pull down method. So guys, if you observe here, one end of this button is connected directly to the power supply. So in this way, the power supply is directly coming to this button, which is directly connected to power supply. Here the resistor is grounded. Fine. So guys, if you observe, let me run this. Okay, you'll get a idea how it works. Guys, if you observe here in the place of button, ikkada button దగ్గర మీరు క్లియర్ గా అబ్జర్వ్ చేస్తే మనం పుల్ అప్ మెథడ్ కి వాట్ వి డిస్కస్డ్ బటన్ కాన్సెప్ట్ ఏంటి, ఆబ్వియస్లీ గా లాజిక్ 1 అనేది మనం కోడ్ రన్ చేసినప్పుడు, లైక్ ప్రోటీస్ రన్ చేసినప్పుడు బటన్ దగ్గర లాజిక్ 1 ఇప్పుడు హైలో ఉంటుంది. సో బటన్ ప్రెస్ చేసినప్పుడు లాజిక్ 0 అప్లై అవుతుంది. అంటే నేను లాజిక్ 0 ఇస్తే అంటే బటన్ 0 అయితే ఎల్ఈడి ఆన్ అవ్వాలి. దిస్ ఇస్ ద కోడ్ విచ్ వి రైట్ ఇన్ yesterday's క్లాస్. అంతేగా, అంటే బటన్ 0 అయితే ఎల్ఈడి అనేది ఆన్ అవ్వాలి. దిస్ ఇస్ ద కండిషన్ విచ్ వీ హావ్ రిటన్ ఇన్ ద లాస్ట్ క్లాస్. కానీ ఇక్కడ ఈ కేసు ఏం చూద్దాం. ఇప్పుడు లాజిక్ 1 అప్లై అయింది, ఆబ్వియస్లీగా లాజిక్ 1 అప్లై అయింది. ఇఫ్ ఐ ప్రెస్ దిస్ బటన్, ఇక్కడ లాజిక్ 1 అప్లై అవుతుంది. అంటే నేను ఇఫ్ యూ ఇన్ పుల్ డౌన్ మెథడ్ ఇన్ లాస్ట్ కేసులో ఏం జరిగింది, మనకు బటన్ ప్రెస్ చేస్తే లాజిక్ 0 అప్లై అయింది. సో నేను 0 ఇస్తే ఆటోమేటిక్గా ఎల్ఈడి అనేది ఆన్ అవుతుంది. ఇక్కడ నేను బటన్ ప్రెస్ చేస్తే లాజిక్ 1 అలాగే ఉంది. అంటే ఇక్కడ నా పాయింట్ ఏంటి, నేను ఇప్పుడు లాజిక్ 1 ఇస్తేనే బటన్ అక్కడ ఎల్ఈడి అనేది ఆన్ అవ్వాలి. అర్థమవుతుందా? ఇక్కడ ఏంటంటే వోల్టేజ్ అనేది హైయర్ ఇంటెన్సిటీ నుంచి లోయర్ ఇంటెన్సిటీకి ఫ్లో అవుతుంటది. మనం ఏం చేయాలి, ఇనిషియల్ గా ఈ బటన్ ని పిన్ నెంబర్ 2 ని 0 చేస్తాం ఇనిషియల్ గా. సో ఆబ్వియస్లీగా ఇప్పుడు మనం బటన్ ప్రెస్ చేసినప్పుడు లాజిక్ 1 అప్లై అవుతుంది. కాబట్టి లాజిక్ 1 అప్లై అయితే ఆటోమేటిక్గా ఎల్ఈడి ఆన్ అవ్వాలనేది మన కండిషన్. దిస్ ఈస్ ద థింగ్ విచ్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు రైట్ ఇన్ ద కోడ్. అర్థమవుతుందా? ఇనిషియల్ గా లాజిక్ 1 అప్లై అయింది, హైలోనే ఉంది, బటన్ అనేది హైలో ఉంది. ఇఫ్ ఐ ప్రెస్ దిస్ బటన్, ఇక్కడ కూడా లాజిక్ 1 అప్లై అయింది. సో ఇప్పుడు నేను కోడ్ లో ఏం రాయాలి, లాజిక్ 1 అప్లై అయితే ఎల్ఈడి అనేది ఆన్ అవ్వాలి. దిస్ ఈస్ ద థింగ్ విచ్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు రైట్ ఎ కోడ్. బట్ రెండు లాజిక్ 1 ఉండవుగా. సో ఇనిషియల్ గా నేనేం చేస్తాను, ఈ బటన్ 0 చేస్తాను, అంటే పిన్ నెంబర్ 2 0 చేస్తాను. బటన్ 0 చేసి దెన్ అప్పుడు నేను బటన్ లాజిక్ 1 అయితే, లాజిక్ 1 అయితే ఇఫ్ బటన్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు 1, then LED becomes on. This is the condition which we are going to write in a code. I hope it's clear. And అర్థం కాకపోతే ఇప్పుడు అడగండి. ఇక్కడ ఇనిషియల్ గా బటన్ ప్రెస్ చేయకుండా లాజిక్ 1 అప్లై అయింది అన్న, బటన్ ప్రెస్ చేసినా లాజిక్ 1 అప్లై అయింది. సో ఇప్పుడు ఇది ఫాల్స్, ఇది ఆబ్వియస్లీగా ఫాల్స్ అవుతుంది. సో ఇప్పుడు బటన్ ప్రెస్ చేస్తే లాజిక్ 1 అప్లై అయినప్పుడు, బటన్ మామూలుగా ఉన్నప్పుడు లాజిక్ 0 అప్లై అవ్వాలి. అంటే నేను రాయాల్సిన ఇనిషియల్ గా బటన్ 0 చేసుకొని దెన్ ఇఫ్ ఐ గివ్ ద లాజిక్ 1, ఆబ్వియస్లీగా బటన్ అనేది లాజిక్ 1 లో ఉంటుంది. కాబట్టి బటన్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు 1 అయితే, అంటే బటన్ 1 అయితే బట్ ఎల్ఈడి అనేది ఆన్ అవ్వాలి. ఇది మనం రాయాలి. ఓకే, మనం కోడ్ రాసేటప్పుడు నీకు ఇంకా విల్ గెట్ ఎ క్లియర్ ఐడియా. ఫైన్. సో ఆబ్వియస్లీ యూ ఆల్ ఆర్ అవేర్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ హెడర్ ఫైల్ reg51.h 51.h s bit button is connected to port 1, pin number what, pin number 2, port 1 pin number 2. Okay, s bit LED is connected to port 2 pin number 1, right? Void main is a very small code, చాలా చిన్న కోడ్. నేనేం చెప్పాను, ఇనిషియల్ గా బటన్ 0 చేసుకున్నాం. ఓకే, బటన్ is equal to 0. ఇప్పుడు మన కండిషన్ ఏంటి? ఇఫ్ బటన్ is equal to 1 అయితే ఎల్ఈడి అనేది ఆన్ అవ్వాలి, రైట్? ఎల్స్ ఎల్ఈడి అనేది ఆఫ్ అవ్వాలి. అయిపోయింది. అర్థమైంది? ఇనిషియల్ గా ఐ మేక్ దిస్ బటన్ 0, లాజిక్ 0 చేస్తా అంటే అప్పుడు ఏంటి? ఇనిషియల్ గా అప్పుడు ఇప్పుడు మనం కోడ్ రన్ చేసేటప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది? ఇనిషియల్ గా నేను బటన్ ప్రెస్ చేయకపోతే ఇల్ గెట్ బ్లూ కలర్ హియర్. ఇట్ మీన్స్ దట్ లాజిక్ 0 ఇస్ డైరెక్ట్లీ అప్లైడ్. ఆబ్వియస్లీ నేను బటన్ ప్రెస్ చేసినప్పుడు లాజిక్ 1 ఆబ్వియస్లీ ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి ఇఫ్ ఐ ప్రెస్ ద బటన్, ఓకే, అదేగా రాసింది ఇక్కడ మనం. ఇఫ్ ఐ ప్రెస్ ద బటన్, ఇఫ్ బటన్ ఇస్ ఈక్వల్ టు 1 అయితే, బటన్ లాజిక్ 1 అయితే ఎల్ఈడి అనేది ఆన్ అవ్వాలి, లేదంటే ఎల్ఈడి అనేది ఆఫ్ అవ్వాలి. యాజ్ సింపుల్ యాజ్ దట్. క్లియర్? అర్థమైందా? ఒకసారి కుడ్ యూ ప్లీజ్ రెస్పాండ్ ఇన్ చాట్ బాక్స్ దట్ వెదర్ యూ గాట్ దిస్ పాయింట్ ఆర్ నాట్. ఇఫ్ యూ డు నాట్ గాట్ దిస్, ఐ విల్ రిపీట్ ఇట్ అగైన్. yes okay, let me stop here and open your, thank you, open your keel. Go to this project, new microvision project. In keel I'm going to save it in button. In button lo I'm going to save it as buttons. I'm going to save it as not buttons, I'm going to save it as buttons. As it's yours to save anything, I'm going to save it as buttons. Yes, fine. Save. Take our microcontroller 8089C51, our hero or heroine. Select this, click on OK. Now it's your wish to take S also. Okay, in coming projects and coming tasks we are going to take it S also. Okay, because we are going to take 2 programmings while dealing with LCD. Sir Mali, sir, he said no. Okay, don't say all these things. Fine. Workspace, save it as buttons lo buttons dot, extension of dot c is mandatory because we are writing a code in embedded C. Okay, I don't want to mention all these points, chala baga discuss చేసాం in previous classes lo. Options for add existing file for the source group 1, buttons, add, close. Clear? Now we are eligible to write a code. So let me copy this, Control C and paste it in the key. Fine. So obviously you'll get an error, I know that. Yes guys, what is an error? What is an error? So if you read this button dot c error C141 syntax error near if expected semicolon, can anybody tell me what is an error and what we have to do there? Yeah, Kiran, good. Now if you observe 0 errors and 0 warnings and go to this target one, right click on this, options for target one, change the clock frequency 11.0592 and go to the output, create hexa file. Okay, you must and should rebuild this. Fine, hexa file is created. Go to the Proteus, double click on this, change the clock frequency 11.0592 here also, and choose your path, desktop, keel. In this button concept, objects, buttons dot x. Fine. Okay, path plays a key role, guys. సో ఇప్పుడు ఇఫ్ యూ అబ్జర్వ్ వెరీ క్లియర్లీ, ఇప్పుడు నేను ఏదైతే కండిషన్ రాశానో బటన్ ఇనిషియల్ గా 0 అవ్వాలని కండిషన్ అప్లై అయింది. సి ఇఫ్ యూ అబ్జర్వ్ దిస్ బ్లూ కలర్, రైట్? ఆబ్వియస్లీ అదేగా మనం రాసింది ఇక్కడ, ఇనిషియల్ గా బటన్ 0 అవ్వాలి. తర్వాత నేను ఇఫ్ బటన్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు 1 అంటే నేను బటన్ ప్రెస్ చేస్తే లాజిక్ 1 ఆబ్వియస్గా అప్లై అవుతుంది. లాజిక్ 1 అప్లై అయితే ఎల్ఈడి ఆన్ అవ్వాలి, లేదంటే ఎల్ఈడి ఆఫ్ అవ్వాలి. సింపుల్ కోడ్. చూడండి, లెట్ మీ చెక్ దిస్. యా, ఇట్స్ ఆన్. ఓకే, so this is the second method. Fine, that's how I got my point. సో ఇక్కడ లాజిక్ 1 అప్లై అవుతుంది. ఇఫ్ యూ అబ్జర్వ్ వెరీ క్లియర్, ఇప్పుడు నేను బటన్ ప్రెస్ చేస్తే లాజిక్ 1 అప్లై అవుతుంది. ఓకే, fine, let me take the screenshots of this. Guys, if you have any doubts, you can ask me. I'll respond for every question what you posted there. Batch 12, day 4. Fine, so we got the output. Let me paste this code in the chat box. It will be clear for you. Okay, guys, I'm just making a small change here. I'm just making a very small change. That, let me, I'm going to change small change. Guys, if you observe now, we removed the resistor, we removed the ground, and we just connected a power supply to a button. One side of the button, other side of the button is directly connected to the microcontroller. Fine, so obviously there is a power supply, so here the logic 1 all applies. Here obviously, with respect to our code, logic 0 will applies. If I press the button, logic 1 will applies. So this is the process, right? But here now, if you observe very carefully, so even though we removed the resistor and we removed the ground, we removed the resistor which was connected to the button, even though it is working, the LED becomes on. What is the reason behind it? Any logics are there or no logics? Even though, why is there, what is the reason behind why we need to connect a resistor externally, like one end of this resistor to the button? Why? Can anybody tell me? Guys, remember this, this is an ideal case. Okay, so this is an ideal case. If you want to do this type of projects in Proteus, you can directly do like this, like you can directly connect the power supply for a button and you can manage to make this LED on. No worries, no problem in that. But in practical case, if you are dealing with a microcontroller directly, physically, you must and should connect a resistor, because if you do not connect the resistor, it may get damaged. Okay, in the kunni problems. So kunni problems వల్ల ఏమవుతుందంటే ప్రాక్టికల్ కేసెస్ ప్రాక్టికల్ గానే ఉండాలి. ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ డూయింగ్ ఎ లైవ్ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ like resistor, you must and should connect the resistor, all these things, all this stuff wants to be do. But here in this case, if this is an ideal case, no need to connect all these resistor or ground or something like that. Fine, but still I'm just saying you that you must and should connect like this only. You have to connect the resistor as well as ground, which is called pull down method, right? Fine. Okay, guys, let me take by using this same method. Okay, let me connect for port 0. Okay, because we discussed that port 0 is active low port. Here there is no power supply. You must and should connect the power supply. Fine. How, let me see how it works, whether it works or not. Delete object. Guys, is it clear for you? I hope it's clear for you. Yes. Fine. So you must and should take the resistor. Okay. Uh, you need to connect the power supply because there is no power. There is no power in the port 0. Where is this terminal mode? Power is connected to resistor. Okay, fine. Here you have to take an led. Fine. This is the connections for port 0. Here there is a power supply. Okay, the resistor machine should connect for the power supply. It is in common cathode is connected to ground. Fine. So by using this same pull down method, we are going to control this led. Whether it works or not, let me see. Very small change here in this key, and button is connected to same, but here we connected port 0, pin number what? Pin number 2. Pin number 2. That is a very small change, I think so. Rebuild this. Hexacode is generated. I don't know whether it works or not. Into the on. Guys, is it working? So resistor acts as a flow of which resists the flow of current. Connections are correct. What is change? Guys, is it working? Let me change the resistor value because it's 10k. Let me take 100. Just 100 ohms. Yes. Guys, it's working. You have to change the resistor value here to 100. Okay, change the resistance value here. Okay, lots of key. 0, 1, 5. Okay, this is all about the button concepts. Like here, you know, for pull down method, if you connect it for this port 2, you can take common anode method also, common anode type also, right? The conditions will get reversed. Okay, in common anode, if you want to make the LED on, you want to make a 0, you have to give the logic 0. Okay, anode is connected to power supply, cathode is connected to the microcontroller to a pin. Okay, and I have written everything in the last class. Okay, I don't want to go into that, but still let me write it here. For common for common anode, if you make the LED on, you have to give LED on condition 0. You want to make LED on, you have to give 0. If you want to make LED off in common anode, okay, you have to give 1. Remember this. For common cathode, that's what we are doing. That's what we done now. Common cathode, LED ఆన్ అవ్వడానికి కండిషన్ వచ్చి 1. అదేవిధంగా ఎల్ఈడి ఆఫ్ అవ్వడానికి, సో కండిషన్ is 0. Right? This is for common anode and common cathode. Here anode is connected to power supply, cathode is connected to a microcontroller, to a pin. Okay, so this is all about the button interfacing with 8051 microcontroller. And now let's go for the next task. Let's move on to traffic lights. Okay, so guys, you all know how these traffic lights will work, right? Traffic lights interfacing with 8051 microcontroller, interfacing with 8051. Fine. So guys, could you please tell me how these traffic lights will work? Signal trigger, but we are not using the 7 segment here. I'm just using the direct traffic lights of 3 colors, like red, green, no, red, yellow, and green. These colors. How these traffic lights will work? Could you please tell me? Guys, please respond in chat box. How these traffic lights will work? How these traffic lights work? Obviously, there are 3 colors, right? Red, yellow, and green. Red on లో ఉన్నప్పుడు మిగతా 2 కలర్స్ ఆఫ్ అవుతాయి. Yellow on లో ఉన్నప్పుడు like if yellow is in on, remaining 2 colors, there will be a particular time delay among each light. That's correct. Particular time will be given by using the 7 segment. We will do that. But okay, fine. Definitely there should be some time delay. Yes, time settings. Yes, correct. Okay, so we are going to use only these 3 colors of traffic lights, and if red is in on, remaining 2 colors will off. If yellow is in on state, remaining 2 colors will off, as like red, as like green. Okay, so if any color is in on state, remaining 2 colors should be off. This is a condition for traffic lights. Clear? So let me design the hardware part in Proteus site, and we'll write a code. It's a very normal, it's a very easiest code, and you have to tell me the code. Okay, very easy. And let me delete this, all this stuff. Delete. Fine. So Okay, go to P, type traffic lights. Traffic lights. Okay, guys, this is the one. Traffic lights, active animated traffic lights module. Double click on this, select that. This is our traffic lights. Okay, very easy. You have to tell me the code. You have to tell me the code, how to write. Or like if you can do this, that's good for me also. Okay, and I connected this traffic light to port 2 and I used port 2 pin 0, 1 and 2. Okay, guys, I have given the task for you about an day before today's class regarding 3 LEDs, right? In the same way, a same code will apply here, and it's very easy. If you tell me the code, I'll write it here. Chala dead easy. Point endante red on lo unnappudu remain two colors off lo undali, yellow on lo unnappudu remain two colors should be off. If green is in on state, remain two colors should be off. This is a condition. This is a thing which we want to write in the code. Fine. So I'm just opening the notepad. Tell me the code. What are the steps? I'll write it now. Dead easy. If you observe the hardware part also, we used port to pin 0, 1 and 2. Fine. Take S bit only. No need to take this total port to. Special function registered bit. Fine. If you tell me the code, I'll write it there. What is the header file? What is the header file? As reg51, thank you. Hash include reg51.h. Good Kiran. Second step, S bit red is connected to port 2 pin 0. Red is connected to port 0, port 2 pin 0, as well as yellow is connected to port 2 pin 1. If green is connected to S bit, green is connected to port 2, obviously pin number 2, right? Here we want to give some delay, void delay. Fine. This is a function declaration, void delay. Next step is like void main function, right? I'm going to use while loop, while of 1. This is an infinite loop, and now our condition is if red is in on state, remain two colors like yellow and green should off. Now you can write the code like this. Same thing will be okay. Second one ఏంటి రెడ్ ఆఫ్ లో ఉంటుంది, yellow on and green 0. Fine. Next red 0, yellow 0 and green 1. That's it. Close the while loop as well as main function. This is the function definition, void delay. You all are aware of this. Okay, we are taking integers. This is a normal code, guys. 3 LEDs blink చేస్తున్నట్టే, but small change in the I'll tell you while running a code. Okay, I'll tell you while running a code for I is equal to 0 I less than 100 as well as I plus plus. For j is equal to 0, j less than, guys నేను రాసేది కరెక్టా? So what I'm writing is correct or wrong? So this is the code. It's a very small code. What I have written is correct or wrong? Please respond. Okay, let me take a new project, new microvision project. Go to Keel and create a new folder called traffic light. And the traffic light. In this traffic lights, I'm going to save it as traffic only. Select our microcontroller 8089C51. Fine. Click on OK. Say no. Target is created. Save this. Save in this traffic lights. Traffic dot traffic dot c, right? Save it as, add existing file traffic, add and close. Fine. So let me take this code. Let me take this code. Let me take this code. Control C and Control V. Okay, this is the code. Let me build this. 0 errors and 0 warnings. Okay. Go to this target, right click on this, options for target 1, change the clock frequency 11.0592. Go to output, create hexa file, click on OK. Again hexa file is created. Go to the Proteus, double click on this, choose the path, desktop, Keel, traffic lights, traffic.hex. Clock frequency is 11.0592. Let me run this. Guys, it's working, but practically the traffic lights won't be like this, right? ఇలా అయితే ఖచ్చితంగా ఉండదు డెఫినెట్గా, బికాస్ డెఫినెట్లీ దేర్ షుడ్ బి సమ్ డిలే. బట్ నేను ఫస్ట్ క్లాస్ లో యాజ్ ఐ సెడ్ ఇన్ ద ఫస్ట్ క్లాస్ దట్ ఇఫ్ యూ నీడ్ టు గివ్ సమ్ డిలే, exact delay, we want to we want to write it in by using the timers and counters only. We can give exact delay. Fine. Timers and counters యూస్ చేసి exact delay మనం ఇస్తాం. సో ఇప్పుడు మన టైమర్స్ అండ్ కౌంటర్స్ విల్ డిస్కస్ దట్. మనం ఇప్పుడు టైమర్స్ అండ్ కౌంటర్స్ కాన్సెప్ట్ ఇంకా చెప్పుకోలేదు కాబట్టి ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ దీనికి మనం డిలే ఇవ్వాలి. డిలే ఎలా ఇస్తామంటే వీ హ్యావ్ టు పాస్ ద ఆర్గ్యుమెంట్స్ ఇన్ ఫంక్షన్ డిక్లరేషన్. సో ఇఫ్ యూ నీడ్ సమ్ డిలే, డెఫినెట్ గా కొంచెం డిలే అయితే రెడ్ కావాలి. ఓకే, ఆబ్వియస్లీగా ఇలా అయితే ఖచ్చితంగా ప్రాక్టికల్ గా అయితే ట్రాఫిక్ లైట్స్ ఉండదు. యూ హ్యావ్ టు పాస్ ద ఆర్గ్యుమెంట్స్ ఇన్ function, the function declaration. Fine. So let me stop this. This is an argument where you pass the unsigned int. This is the argument which you want to pass it in function declaration. Fine. If you pass this arguments, it means that of course you know about this unsigned, which will take the positive value. If you pass the arguments in this function definition, that function declaration, you can give some delay here. Exactly, it's your wish. So to give some delay in a code, you want to pass the arguments in function declaration, right? let me take some delay. You can directly give some delay here if you pass the arguments there. Fine. Small change in this, which is called unsigned, SIGNED, unsigned int integer n. That's it. In place of 100, here we have taken integer n. Fine. Let me rebuild this. ఇప్పుడు చూద్దాం ఒకసారి. 0 errors and 0 warnings. If you run code here, ఇప్పుడు మనకు రెడ్ అనేది some delay లా వస్తుంది. So if you pass an arguments in a function declaration, function మనం declare చేసుకునే కాడ మనం if you pass the arguments, so if you pass the arguments you can give the delay directly in a code. మనం మెయిన్ ఫంక్షన్ లో ఎక్కడైతే డిలే ఇస్తామో అక్కడ మనం కొంచెం డిలే అనేది డైరెక్ట్ గా ఇవ్వచ్చు, లైక్ 500 మైక్రోసెకండ్స్ ఆర్ 1000 మైక్రోసెకండ్స్ లైక్ దట్. ఫైన్. సో it's almost slow. Let me for 200,000, 1000 and for 1000, and this is for not 5000. Okay. If you pass the arguments in function declaration, you can directly give the delay in a main function. Okay. మనం కోడ్ లో డైరెక్ట్ గా ఎక్కడైతే డిలే ఇస్తున్నామో అక్కడ కొంచెం డిలే అనేది డైరెక్ట్ గా ప్రొవైడ్ చేయొచ్చు. సో దట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్ వై we passed an argument in a function declaration. Right? Yes, are you doing parallelly along with me? Are you doing parallelly along with me? That's the main reason, sir. Okay. So if you pass, you must and should pass an argument if you need some particular delay. In case of LED, we no need of particular delay, right? సో కొన్ని మైక్రో సెకండ్స్ కొన్ని ఎక్కువ కావాలన్నప్పుడు యూ హ్యావ్ టు పాస్ ద ఆర్గ్యుమెంట్స్ అన్సైన్డ్ ఇంట్. అన్సైన్డ్ ఈజ్ అ పాజిటివ్, డిలే అనేది ఖచ్చితంగా పాజిటివ్ లో ఉంటుంది. సో అందుకని వీఆర్ గివింగ్ పాజిటివ్ వాల్యూ లైక్ 500 మైక్రో సెకండ్స్, 1000 మైక్రో సెకండ్స్ ఆర్ 2000 మైక్రో సెకండ్స్, ఇట్స్ యువర్ విష్. ఓకే. సో సమ్ అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ డిలే అనేది వర్క్ అవుతుంది అన్నమాట. సో దట్స్ ద రీజన్ వై యూ హ్యావ్ టు పాస్ ద ఆర్గ్యుమెంట్స్. Sushma, if you completed this and I am going to give the presenter for you, you have to share your screen. And where is MIC students? if you have laptop, you can uh, you can present your screen. Okay, if you ask me in the chat box, I'll give you the presenter. Sushma, have you done this? Sai Tanuja. Because if you do not have laptops, it's okay, guys, no worries. But if you are having laptops, I'll give you the presenter. Please respond in chat box. Tanuja, Varma, Navya, MSc students are doing. Pawan Kalyan. Pawan Kalyan, are you doing along with me? చేస్తున్నావా? Guys, please respond in chat box. If you are done, please respond. ఎవరిది? వికాస్ కుమార్, కుమారి, కుమారి, ఏంటి వెళ్ళిపోతున్నారు? Guys, okay, fine, it's your wish. At least one can present the screen at least. ఎందుకంటే ఐ జస్ట్ వాంట్ టు షో ఫర్ మై హైర్ అథారిటీ చేస్తున్నారా లేదా. కిరణ్, ఇట్స్ ఓకే, యూ ఆర్ డూయింగ్ అండ్ ఐ హోప్ యూ ప్రెసెంట్ ద స్క్రీన్ ఎస్డే ఆల్సో. ఐఎమ్ జస్ట్ సర్చింగ్ ఫర్ సమ్ అదర్. ఐ నో దట్ యు ఆర్ డూయింగ్, నాకు తెలుసు నువ్వు చేస్తున్నావు. సో ఇంకొకరికి ఎవరికన్నా ఇద్దాము అనేసి, అంతే, అంతకు మించి అట్లీస్ట్ వన్. ఎస్, అట్లీస్ట్ వన్. ఇంకా అడిగితే వెళ్ళిపోతారా ఏంటి? సుష్మా, చేసావా? అట్లీస్ట్ ఎవరన్నా కనీసం ఒక్కరన్నా రెస్పాండ్ అవ్వగలుగుతారా ప్లీజ్? చేస్తున్నారా లేదా, అర్థమైందో అర్థం కాలేదా, అర్థం కాకపోతే అడగండి, చేస్తే ఒకసారి ప్రెజెంటర్ ఇస్తాను. జస్ట్ ప్లీజ్ షేర్ యువర్ స్క్రీన్, దట్స్ ఇట్. అయ్యో బాబోయ్. ఫైన్. సో ఓకే, ఫైన్, గివ్ మీ 2 minutes. I'll be back within 2 minutes. And next task is interfacing DC motors with 8051. Okay, we are going to control 2 DC motors at a time by using a driver. We'll see that it's very interesting. Fine. I'll be back within 2 minutes, guys. Please hold on. Fine. DC motor interfacing DC motor with 8051. Interfacing DC motor with 8051 microcontroller. This is our task. So what is a DC motor? Guys, what is a DC motor? Could you please respond in chat box? 15 manda. Fine. It's a DC motor. Kiran, no respond out. What's a DC motor? Machine that converts electrical. Very good. Very good. Which converts electrical energy into mechanical energy. Here the energy gets conserved. Right? If you where do we use this DC motors? Where do we use this DC motors? L293D. I don't know why it gets dark. Charging required. Why we need where? Yeah. In toys, appliances. Yes. So big DC motors will be used in industries also. But మనకు తెలిసింది వచ్చి actually, you know, in our school, in our childhood, we used to play with DC motors, right? అనుకో చిన్న ఫ్యాన్ చుట్టి చిన్న ఒక 9 volts DC బ్యాటరీ 9 volts బ్యాటరీ తీసుకొని ప్లస్ ఆర్ మైనస్ కన్వర్ట్స్ ఎలక్ట్రికల్. Yes. Okay, I hope you all are remember that. Okay, in our school days we used to do like this. Okay, small projects kuda we will go with DC motors, right? చిన్న అట్ట ముక్కలు చుట్టి దానికి ఫ్యాన్ లాగా క్రియేట్ చేసుకొని, so actually, you know, we'll play with that, right? So third component is a DC motor. So that is the use of a DC motor. Obviously మనం if you observe like positive negative atla connect cheste, the motor will rotate in forward direction or like motor will rotate in reverse direction. Connections change cheste ante ka. So this is a thing and this is how the DC motor will works, whether it will rotate in forward direction or clockwise or reverse direction or in anti-clockwise. I mean that in reverse direction or anti-clockwise direction. This is how the motor will works. So ఇక్కడ L293D ఎందుకు తీసుకున్నాం అంటే, by using this L293 motor driver, we are going to connect two motors at a time. This is the main use of this motor driver. Okay, I will show you how it looks like while we designing in a Proteus sheet. Okay, there are around 2 plus 4. I will show you how many pins are also there, and I'll tell you how those pins will work. And these are the components, and this motor used to, we can connect for external power supply will be connected by using this motor driver also, and it eliminates some noise also. Okay, so these are the use of this motor driver. Obviously DC motor, and the components are like this is our microcontroller. These are the three components required for us. Let me go for the hardware part. Let's see how it works, how the connections will be, right? Fine, this is our microcontroller. Let me delete this. Yes, go to pick the device, L293D. If you type L293D, you'll get a motor driver. Okay, double click on this, select that. Again, change the keyword for DC motor. DC motor, where it is? Ida motor, yes, yeah, this is the one. Okay, type motor. Here in this description you will get a simple DC motor model. Okay, select this. Fine, yeah, motor is selected. Take this L293D. I used to choose only port 2. Okay, and it's your wish, you can take port 3 also, because it's my comfort. And I'm going to take this port motor 1. That's what I said you, that we used to connect two motors at a time. Fine. So guys, if you observe here, output 1, output 2, around 4 plus 4, 8 plus 4, 12 pins are there. Here if you observe, output 1 and output 3, output 1, output 2 is connected for motor 1, output 3 and output 4 is connected to motor 2. This is the use of this output 1, output 2 for motor 1, output 3 and output 4 is connected to motor 2, where ground is connected to ground, common ground, where VSS and VS is power supply will be connected directly for these two pins. And if you observe very clearly here at this point, input 1, input 2, enable 1. Okay, which applies for motor 1. Remember, input 1, input 2, enable pin 1, enable 1, which applies for motor 1. Enable 2, input 3 and input 4, which applies for motor 2. Here, and while I'll draw their motor diagrams also, you will get a very clear idea. See, for example, if motor wants to rotate in forward direction, it means that in clockwise direction, you know that one pin, like input 1 will becomes 1, input 2 will become 0, because input 1 is connected to power supply, which means that positive terminal, input 2 is negative terminal. I'll show you here the main use of this enable 1. So why we need to connect enable 1? The main use of this enable pins are to drive a motor. See, ఇప్పుడు మోటారు ఫార్వర్డ్ డైరెక్షన్ లో తిరగడానికైనా లేదా రివర్స్ డైరెక్షన్ లో తిరగడానికైనా ఈ ఎనేబుల్ పిన్ అనేది హైలో ఉండాలి. ఇఫ్ దిస్ ఎనేబుల్ పిన్ బికమ్స్ 0, మోటార్ అనేది వర్క్ అవ్వదు. సో దిస్ ఈస్ ద యూజ్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ ఎనేబుల్ పిన్స్. క్లియర్? ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, you have given 1 and 0, but enable pin 0 అయితే obviously it won't work. Enable pin definitely should be high if motor wants to rotate in forward or in reverse direction. Clear? So there are so many probabilities are there by using these two motors. Right, so for example, if these two motors want to rotate in forward, reverse, I'll tell you. Okay, try to make the connections first. What I said you, yes. So try to make the connections. Output 1 and output 2 is connected to motor 1. Output 3 and output 4 is connected to motor 2, as well as ground is connected for ground, common ground. And the power supply is connected for VSS and VS. Fine. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to define this complete port 2 in my code. Okay. These are the connections. Fine. So we are going to control these two motors at a time. So many probabilities are there, you know. No, not this. Yes, this is a motor one. Guys, ignore my drawing 1 second. I cannot say anything. And this is motor 1. This is motor 2. So these are the connections, right? Output 1 and output 1, output 2, output 3, output 4. This is a positive terminal, obviously. This is a negative terminal. If motor 1 rotates in forward direction, what are the logics you have to give? Motor 1 forward direction తిరగాలంటే you must and should have to give one here. అంతేగా? If motor 1 wants to rotate in anti-clockwise direction, okay, or reverse direction, here you have to give 1, here you have to give 0. Right? This is input 1, this is input 2. Fine. Motor 1 forward direction తిరగాలంటే you have to give the inputs like for input 1 you have to give logic 1, for input 2 you have to give logic 0. అంటే ఇక్కడ in Proteus, if motor 1 wants to rotate in clockwise or forward direction, this input 1 should be high, input 2 should be low, forward direction. Enable pin obviously the high lo undali, 1 lo undali. Fine. So in this case of reverse direction, input 2 clockwise anti-clockwise తిరగాలంటే input 2 should be 1, input 1 becomes 0. Clear? Same thing apply. ikkadenti input 3 and input 4, right? Clockwise, this is positive terminal, this is negative terminal. Okay, anti-clockwise 1 0. Okay, this is how the DC motors will work. Fine. There are so many properties are there, guys. there are so many in that I won't say there are 100 possibilities are there. By using these two motors we can draw so many probabilities, like these two motors will rotate in forward, these two motors rotate in reverse, one motor in forward, another motor in reverse. If this motor was to rotate, if this motor rotates in forward, we can rotate this motor in reverse. If this motor rotates in reverse, we can rotate this forward. Okay, we can make this motor 1 in stop, and we can rotate this motor 2. We can make this motor 2 in uh, stop, and we can make this motor 1 in rotation in forward or reverse. There are so many conditions are there, so many cases are there, right? So we'll take only four conditions. Okay, let me take only four conditions. Let me check how it works. Okay, first condition, first condition, two motors in forward. It's my but guys, this is my comfort. Okay, it's you can take any conditions, any case, any condition, any probability. Okay, it's your wish, but with respect to my time, I'm going to take only four conditions. First, two motors in forward. First condition is this. Second condition is this: two motors rotate, two motors in reverse, two motors in reverse. Third condition is second motor in forward. I want to make first motor in off. Okay, first motor off లో పెట్టి సెకండ్ మోటార్ ని ఫార్వర్డ్ లో తిప్పాలనుకోండి. ఇట్స్ మై విష్ గైస్. చెప్తున్నాను, యూ కెన్ టేక్ ఎనీ ప్రాబిలిటీ, నో ప్రాబ్లం. ఫస్ట్ మోటార్ ఆఫ్, సెకండ్ మోటార్ ఇన్ ఫార్వర్డ్. Okay, and fourth one is first motor in reverse. Okay, first motor in reverse, and second motor should be off. These are my probabilities, these are my conditions I'm going to take. I'm going to take only four conditions, like two motor in forward, two motor in reverse, first motor off, and second motor rotating forward, first motor reverse, second motor should be off. Okay, for this we have to generate the hexadecimal values. Okay, let me write a code. Let me see how it looks like. First of all, we need to generate hexadecimal values for that. So that I'm going to take this total port 2. Okay, from 2.7, from 2.7, 2.6, 2.5, 2.4, 2.3, 2.2, 2.1, 2.0. అంతేనా? ఇవి కంట్రోలర్ పోర్ట్ పిన్స్, controller port pins, second one. So these are the controller port pins. So here for 2.7 nothing is connected, 2.6 nothing is connected, we make it as 0. We make it as 0, or like you can first of all mix. Okay, we are not using these two pins. For 2.5, which one is connected? Where it is? For 2.5, input 4, input 3, unable to. Input 4 is connected. Input 3 is connected. Enable 2 is connected. Obviously after this enable 1 will get connected. Enable 1 and 2.1, 2.0 ఇక్కడ ఏం కనెక్ట్ అయింది? ఇన్పుట్ 2 అండ్ ఇన్పుట్ 1, అంతేగా? ఇన్పుట్ 2, ఇన్పుట్ 1. సో ఇన్పుట్ 2 as well as input 1. Fine. These are the driver pins, drive pins. Fine. next step is like, and you know, as per our conditions or whatever the cases we have taken, two motors rotating forward. So what are the binary values if two motors rotates in forward direction? Obviously input 1 high లో ఉంటది, input 2 high లో ఉంటది, enable 1 high లో ఉంటదా? Two motors rotate in forward. Guys, can you give me the binary values for if two motors rotate in forward direction? Could you please make it fast? Two motors forward direction లో తిరిగితే what are the binary values? 1 0. Obviously ఈ రెండు 0 అవుతాయి. We'll make these two zeros 1 0 1 0. Are you saying in రివర్స్ డైరెక్షన్? మనం ఇక్కడ తీసుకున్న కంట్రోల్ పోర్ట్ పిన్స్ చెప్పు కిరణ్, బ్యాక్ నుంచి చెప్తున్నట్టున్నావు. ఇక్కడ నుంచి లైక్ వీఆర్ టేకింగ్ బ్యాక్ సైడ్ రైట్. సో ఇక్కడ నుంచి తీసుకుంటున్నాం కాబట్టి ఇది 0 అవ్వాలి కదా. ఇన్పుట్ 4 0 అవ్వాలి, ఇన్పుట్ 3 1 అవ్వాలి. ఆబ్వియస్గా ఎనేబుల్ 2 1 అయితేనే మోటార్ రొటేట్ అవుద్ది. ఇన్పుట్ 2 షుడ్ బి 0, ఇన్పుట్ 1 షుడ్ బి 1. కరెక్టేనా చెప్పింది? రివర్స్ చెప్పావు, ఓకే, నో ప్రాబ్లం. సో వాట్ ఈస్ హెక్సాడెసిమల్ వాల్యూ ఫర్ దిస్? What is the hexadecimal value for this? Make it fast, guys. 0x1 0x1 8 4 10 11 b 8 4 12 12 plus 1 13 13 అంటే 10 11 12 d. Fine. Oh my god, bro. Forward direction, two motors in forward. So obviously గా reverse direction, obviously గా దీనికి reverse ఏగా. This becomes 1, this becomes 0, and this becomes 1. అంతేనా? అంతే. This becomes 1, this becomes 1, and this becomes 0. 0 0 opposite of this. Please tell me this hexadecimal value for this. 1 0 1 0 8 4 2 0x 2 8 4 2 1 2 12 13 de. Okay, yes, reverse direction. And next one is I want to make motor 1 off, motor 2 forward lo tippali. Forward ante I'll make this 0, this 0, input 4 obviously గా forward కాబట్టి ఇది 0 అవుతుంది, ఇది 1, this becomes 1, all this becomes 0 because I want to make motor 1 in off. For this, what is the hexadecimal value? For this, what is the hexadecimal value? 0x1 8. Okay, and the final condition 0 0, and I want to make motor 2 off అంటే ఇది 0, motor 3. సో ఇంతవరకు 0. motor 1 ని రివర్స్ లో తిప్పుదాం. రివర్స్ అంటే ఇది 1, obviously గా ఇది 1, ఇది 0. So what is the hexadecimal value for this? 0x0 8 4 8 4 2 6 0x06. Okay, so these are our conditions. Next step is like we want to write a code. Hash includes reg 51.h, and as defined, we are going to define total port as define port p2. Okay, or like we can take motor because we connected motor, right? Motor to port P2, and function definition void delay, because there should some delay, right? And void main, and next is while loop, which is an infinite loop, while of 1. And from here, these are the steps. What is the first condition? 0x20, motor should be rotating, two motors should be rotated in forward direction. For this we have to give some delay. Second condition is like motor is connected to 0x2e, where we can give some delay at here. And the third condition is motor is connected to third condition is 0x18. Fine, for this we have to give some delay. Last condition is like motor is connected for this last condition 0x06. Clear. Delay. Fine, I want to close the while loop and main function, as well as function definition void delay is a common step annitiki. Okay, open loop integers I'm declaring, I comma j I'm declaring. For I is equal to 0, I less than 100, I plus plus. For j is equal to 0, j less than 1000, j plus plus. I'm just closing it. This is our code. ఇక్కడ మనం కీల్లోకి వెళ్ళి ఏం చేస్తామంటే అగైన్ గో టు ద న్యూ ప్రాజెక్ట్. ఇన్ కీల్ టేక్ ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు టేక్ ఇట్ ఇన్ బటన్స్ అండి, బటన్ కాన్సెప్ట్ అని తీసుకుందాం. ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు టేక్ ఇట్ యాజ్ మోటార్ సేవ్ controller AT89C51 and click on OK. No, if you click yes also no problem. Take a workspace, save it as not in traffic lights. Where we saved it? In button na motor. So motor dot c, extension of dot c is mandatory, and we can write we can directly copy the code what we have written here. Control C, Control V. Let me check if there is any errors and a target has not created. Let me add this motor, add close. Okay, now there are yeah, there are 0 errors and 0 warning, guys. Fine, go to this target options. For target 1, 11.0592 is our clock frequency. Go to the output, create hexa file, click on OK. Again rebuild this. Hexa file is created. Go to this Proteus 8, double click on this, change the path, desktop, scale, button, objects, motor.hex. Yes, if you run this it works, but definitely we have to pass the arguments here. Okay, if you pass the arguments in the function declaration, this is an unsigned int, this is our argument. Give some delay here, 500 as well as 500 here. Unsigned int n, try to change this, that's it. Rebuild this, run this. ఇప్పుడు మనకు కొంచెం క్లియర్గా అర్థమవుతుంది. ఓకే, Guys, is it clear? It looks like okay. I won't say is it clear. Guys, is it okay for you? I hope you understand this. Guys, is it okay? Have you got this? అర్థం కాకపోతే అడగండి నాన్న. I'll tell you. Guys, if you, I'll just post a code in the chat box. Save this for your future use also. No way. Guys, is it okay? So I'll stop the class at this point.